Hi everyone, this is Ricky Coule with Coule Bookkeeping, and I wanted to take a minute and answer a question that is very common to business owners as they're looking at what options are available to them in outsourcing their bookkeeping work. And that is this question: how does remote bookkeeping work? And it's a very valid question because for some of us, this is something that we would not be able to do online. But with the advent of the cloud and software that now runs on the cloud, there are a lot of really good applications that we can link with your QuickBooks. And actually, in my opinion, bookkeeping becomes much easier in being able to do these services remotely. So the best way for us to be able to explain how this works is to compare it with a traditional method. If your business has grown to the point where you're ready to begin handing off the bookkeeping services, the bookkeeping requirements of your company to someone else, you're going to hire someone, either full-time or part-time, depending on how much work you've got for them to do. Now, what are the pros? Well, you found an individual that you hope is compatible with your business. You hired them, and you have an individual who is completely dedicated and focused on your business. The cons, however, can be that this is prohibitively expensive for many businesses. If you hire a bookkeeper, in many cases, in most cases, I will say, even part-time, you're looking at $20,000 annual expense. If you hire them full-time, $50,000 plus. And the reason I say plus is because once someone becomes full-time, you have to start considering health care provision, you have to have workman's comp, Social Security and Medicaid matching, and things such as that, besides just the expense of providing an office, computer equipment, printers, things of that nature. So what can we do? Well, the traditional model has been that we outsource bookkeeping needs to a local service, and that works well because that's much more affordable. Bookkeeping services for us actually begin at $300 a month, which is $3,600 a year, if I do my math right, and that's way less than $20,000 a year. So it's very affordable depending on the services that you need. Obviously, it gets more expensive, but the cons are that if you don't live in an area that has a lot of bookkeeping services available, then you're very limited in your selection. And you need someone who not only knows what they're doing in your books, but they have to have a personality that is compatible with what you need. The other problem is that you have to physically save all of your receipts, your bills, and your invoices to take over to the bookkeeper for a physical handoff. So you would run them over, say, once a week to hand them to the bookkeeper, and you would pick up checks or whatever that your bookkeeper has prepared for you and will hand them back to you. Works well, but if you're limited in who you have available, or maybe who is available is too expensive or doesn't know your particular industry. So now we have the ability to outsource bookkeeping services and provide them remotely. What are the pros? Well, you'll immediately see that two of the cons have now moved up to the pros column. It's still affordable, just like a local bookkeeping service is, but now you have for you to choose from a vast selection of bookkeeping providers. And the second thing is you no longer need to physically hand deliver receipts or bills or invoices. Well, how is the bookkeeper supposed to know what to do if you're not handing them all of these documents? Well, QuickBooks provides for every user a special customized email address that is specific to your account. So if you order your materials online or you incur an expense online and there is a receipt that is emailed to you, you can forward a copy of that receipt to QuickBooks, and it shows up there for the bookkeeper to be able to use. The second thing that you have is you say, well, I don't order everything online. I don't have all of my receipts emailed to me. I go down to the distribution warehouse down the road, XYZ Distributors, and they hand me a paper receipt. Well, QuickBooks also has an app for your smartphone where you can simply snap a picture of that receipt and it shows up in the exact same inbox for your bookkeeper. Your bookkeeper also can access your bank statements online so that they can reconcile your bank statements with your books. And I want to take just a minute to show you what that looks like. Now, I've pulled up a sample company here. I believe this is one, well, I know this is one that QuickBooks provides as just a test account, but this is a sample company, so I'm not about to show you anyone's business books here. But if you go to transactions in your QuickBooks and then go to receipts, remember a minute ago I said there was an an app for your smartphone that could be where you just snap a picture. I actually did one a minute ago from my phone to this particular one, and I have uploaded a receipt, a Home Depot receipt, and I'm going to pull that up and look at it. And so here is actually a copy of the receipt that it captured, and I can select a payee here. So this would have been to the Home Depot. So in this case, I'm going to have to add a new vendor called Home Depot and just save the Home Depot. I'm not going to enter any more information. This came from the checking account, and it was on the 15th of June. So what was this for? Well, QuickBooks, you'll notice, has already done a guess that this was for job expenses. That QuickBooks thinks this is the best category to put it in. That's probably a good one. It's job materials. If there's a customer that's associated with it, I generally would ask my clients to write a customer name across the top so I would know what client this would go to. And then I can save this, and this receipt will get stored ready to link to the transaction when it comes in from the bank account. So let's look at the bank transactions. We can go in and we can link your checking accounts, your savings accounts, your credit card accounts that you use for your business, and daily QuickBooks goes in and looks for the transactions that have occurred here. So we see that this particular client has incurred an expense from a rental. And so if we go in there, QuickBooks has already guessed that this is probably equipment rental. It's an expense. That is exactly right. If I had a receipt, a copy of the receipt available, I could add that as an attachment. I could also create a recurring rule so that we would know rentals are always equipment rental expenses, and then I add it straight from here. So it's a very simple process, and it's a very straightforward process. Estimates and invoices work basically the same way. You enter them on your smartphone or you enter them on your computer locally. We can then convert those estimates to invoices and send them to customers if that's something that you would like us to do. So lots of good things happen here. Number one, my favorite part, is that you no longer need to worry about filing paper receipts. Well, why is that? Because if you've captured your receipts via email and the app that QuickBooks provide for you, then the receipts and the invoices are stored with the payment transaction. So if you're ever audited, whether you're audited by the IRS or you're audited by an independent company, let's say your company just does an audit every year, and your auditor says, show me the receipt that goes with this transaction, it's there linked to the transaction, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. Now, I know you might be asking yourself at this point, why can't I just do all this? And you absolutely can. It's a very simple process, and you can do this all by yourself. It's not complicated. But here's something very important that I want you to consider. As the business owner, you need to realize that the bookkeeping tasks rob you of the time you spend running your business. So is it more free time that you need, or is it that you need to have more time dedicated to running your business? And here's the second part of that. Bookkeeping is my business. And so doing this all the time, I can do it much more quickly and efficiently being a little more familiar with the process. So I hope that answers the question about how remote bookkeeping works. If you're not already on my website watching this video, I encourage you to go here, coulebookkeeping.com, and you spell my name C-O-U-L-E, bookkeeping.com. On there, you'll find a button that says Get a Quote, and if you'll press that button, there's a series of 10 questions that it will ask you. If you'll fill that out, I'll be able to get back with you generally within an hour or two to give you a custom quote for your business and exactly how much it would cost you on an ongoing basis for Coule Bookkeeping to take over the bookkeeping task for your business. I hope that helps. If not, let me know. Send me an email through my website and I'll be glad to answer any questions you have. Thank you.